We have AA hemoglobin, then we have the AC, SC, and the rest. There are so many hemoglobin that the electrophoresis can be able to like detect. Errors that can be detected, that's in the process of running genotype now. Like in the laboratory, we have analytical error, pre-analytical error, and then the post-analytical error. A scientist, or will I say a hematologist, is still a scientist. When they said you are a hematologist, that means you deal with blood. That's hematology itself, is a study of blood and all other blood disorders. Having a PCV, I know of some cases whereby you discover that some people are even having a PCV of lesser than 15, 9, and the rest, and which is what? They are anemic. So for you to discover that, definitely you see that for a sickle cell patient, you discover that that person, that hemoglobin that we are talking about, takes blood, oxygen rounds the body, and then that person will find it difficult for him to like cooperate with that. Yeah, anemia simply means, or will I say, has to do with shortage of blood in the system. And it doesn't simply mean that till when you are a sickle cell patient, that's when you come down with anemia. No, it doesn't mean that. Let's take, for instance, now someone had an accident, he loses blood. Still, we can't say that, okay, now you are a sickle cell patient. No, it doesn't work that way. So when you're talking about anemia, there are different causes that causes anemia. We have nutritional anemia. Some people that, okay, because they don't eat much or good food, definitely they come down with nutritional anemia. And we have some too that they are okay, but other factors can make them to be anemic. And then talking about Rhesus factor now. When we are talking about Rhesus factor now, we are diverting from this genotype stuff. We are now going back to blood grouping now, because Rhesus factor have to do with the blood grouping now itself, whereby we have the Rhesus positive and then the Rhesus negative. So it's different from the genotype stuff that we're talking about. Rhesus factor, that's when it comes to issue of incompatibility, has to do with let's take for instance now a woman is Rhesus negative, and then her husband is Rhesus positive. That's, let's take for instance, he's O positive and then she's O negative. If peradventure they don't know about it for the first time, that's why it's advisable whenever you are pregnant, it's advisable for you to be going for a routine check in the hospital. That's why it's advisable you go for antenatal. In that particular place, definitely you will be educated more and given more enlightenment on how to go about it. You'll be given more stuff for you to to do, and then those stuff will help you in future. And then the issue of Rhesus incompatibility has to do with when a woman is Rhesus negative, as I said earlier on, and the man is positive. If they don't know, whenever she gives birth to her own child today, there's no sensitization in the system already. So it's at birth, whenever that blood from the mother now crosses the placenta now, automatically it will now sensitize the body to tell you, yes, there's a foreign body. That's why immediately when you are being given birth or you are Rhesus negative and they discover that, there's an injection that they give, that's the Rogam. They give you that to neutralize whatever that must have crossed in. That's why sometimes you discover that some people, when they give birth to their first child, whenever another pregnancy is coming in, they always have miscarriage, because they are not aware of it. And then some people will be bouncing it back on their parents, or maybe the community, or so many things, so many people will say. But the truth needs to be told. You need to go to the hospital all the time for routine check, and then for medical advices regarding that. If you are being diagnosed with sickle cell and you know that yes, you have it, as I said, is a genetic disorder. You having it is not a death sentence. No. You can live your normal life as any other individual, but there are things that you need to stay off. Because we believe, because of the sickle shape of that individual, there are things that, yes, you may not be able to do. So when you are diagnosed with it, definitely extra care needs to be put in place, so that whenever you are down with crisis, or when the crisis starts, they will know how to manage it and how to go about it. So my advice to them is that whenever you have been diagnosed with it, it's not a death sentence, no. But there are things that need to be put in place to check those things. And then going for a routine check in the hospital usually help to reduce some of the complications that may arise. So my advice is that you go to the hospital always for routine check, and then all the necessary advice will be given to you. The best way to go about it is that before getting married, you need to go to the hospital and run a test. Know your genotype before even involving more or going deep into a relationship. For us to reduce the risk, or for us to reduce that population of sickle cell, definitely adequate measures need to be taken to be put in place, and which is what knowing your genotype is the key to this. For people to say they won't let go of that's an AS relationship, that's the guy is AS and the lady too is AS. To me, if they must have seen someone that have, or will I say, someone who is in crisis, definitely, even if they should tell them to go about that, they won't do that. Because so many times, yes, love do blinds people's eyes to tell you, no, we'll just do it. But the truth needs to be told. At that particular place whereby you discover that, yes, truly you are AS, and the woman too is AS, the relationship needs to be cut for us to prevent having AS. When we talk about the Mendelian's law, yes, it's an idea for you to know, yes, this is the probability of what you are expected to do, or will I say to give birth to. If you look at it, even at the crossing, yes, it will be there, but you don't have any right to say, okay, this is the person that will come first, either the sickle cell or the other people, the carrier or the AA. No, you don't have any right to say. What you do is that it's only God that knows, yes, this is what will be, or this is what will happen. But you as human being, you can't say that, yes, this is what you should expect. No, it's just an idea for you to have an idea, yes, this is what you are expected to have, but it doesn't really work with that all the time. At the point of entering to school, to me, I feel it's best you actually know your genotype, because that child will grow up with the knowledge, yes, this is who I am. So peradventure he even grew up and then he will even want to enter into a relationship, and he have a full knowledge of what this genotype is all about. Definitely, he will definitely say, yes, this is who I am, I'm AS. So if I'm going into a relationship, or I want to ask someone out, or thinking of settling down later on in life, definitely he will say yes. He will look for somebody who is what? AA. And then having that full knowledge, it will help in reducing so many things that may later happen in life. So it's, to me, is a starting point. Is a very, very good point for you to whenever someone is entering at school, that should be part of the investigation that should be included or incorporated in the medical check for students. To me, I feel going to the right place to get the right information is the best. Someone can just walk into me and then tell me, okay, taking this particular thing, or like I said, as you said, lizard blood or urine and tortoise stuff, it's funny. It's funny because there's no correlation with that. So for you to get a good information, yes, there are institutions that have been set for you to walk in and whatever information you need, definitely, you will definitely get it there. And there are trained personnel that have been trained based on this to give the accurate information. So for me, I believe it's not okay for just someone to just walk in and then tell you, okay, take this or take this lizard or this stuff, and then you believe that. No, there are places we've gone at the era whereby someone will just walk into you and then tell you this is it will work. No, even you have phones that browse, though it's not every information online that is correct. There are places whereby someone just feels, yes, I need to post this, and then for me to get attention or capture attention of people. So it's not every information that you discover that, yes, it's actually correct. So there are institutions that are being set whereby you walk in and then the right information will be given to you by a trained personnel there. Yeah, that's why I said earlier on, if one is down, there are authorities that are instituted whereby you go and then the right information. When you have iron overload, is another problem. So for you, self-medication is not even advisable. So whenever you have such, or when you are down with sickle cell, go to the hospital. The right thing will be done for you there to prevent iron overload and other things or other complications that may arise. So self-medication is not just advisable. When you go to the hospital, the right thing will be done to you. For you to be transfused, that's for you to undergo transfusion in the hospital, definitely they must have done your PCV and discovered that yes, your PCV is low. And mind you, there are other different components of blood transfusion whereby patients do undergo, like apheresis. That means different blood, or like I said, blood component can be given. So for you to just sit back at home and then say, this is what I want, there are some people, yes, it's just the plasma that you'll be given. Some is the thrombocyte, and then some is the packed cell itself that will be given to you. So sitting back at home and then just knowing that, yeah, I need blood transfusion, no. Go to the hospital, and then when they discover that, yes, truly you need a blood transfusion, the right thing will be done to you. You may see sometimes a request will come, a doctor will tell you, okay, we need 250 packed cell for this patient. We need 450 packed cell for this patient. And we need a whole blood. So there are different things whereby a patient will be needed. There are some times whereby, yes, you give the whole blood to a patient. There are times whereby it's only the packed cell you just give to a patient. So going down to the hospital will definitely, whenever they discover that, yes, you really need that transfusion, the transfusion will be given to you. Whenever one maybe takes a longer time to menstruate, there may be a defect or something causing that. It's not normal for you to stay completely like that without menstruating even years. Yes, we've heard of situation whereby someone will tell you, okay, I've taken longer time for me to menstruate. Some will tell you a year, but it's not supposed to be, because in as much as God make it genetically make up of a woman, you are expected to menstruate every month. But sometimes there may be an infection that may be causing that. That's why it's advisable, whenever you notice such, you should run to the right authorities and the right thing will be done to you, or the proper thing will be done to you. So to me, I don't feel blood circulation does that. Even if it does, then it can be corrected to when the appropriate authorities are being notified. I'm by name Bulus Menduwas, a medical lab scientist. My general advice to people is that you need to go to the hospital for routine check and then visit the right authorities for your problems. Don't just sit back at home and assume you are okay. No, you go to the hospital and then the right thing will be done to you. My advice to the society in regards to people living with sickle cell is that they are just like any other human being, and it's not their own wish that they are born sickle cell. So we should treat every sickle cell patient we see with love and care, and we should have compassion for them. And even when they are on crisis, we should try by all means to help them and then give them the right thing they need to. And then my advice is that they should always visit the hospital all the time for their routine check.